What's up guys, Vital Syntax here with some more Battlefield 4 multiplayer gameplay once again from the E3 2013 live stream. And there's a link in the description to the Twitch page if you guys want to check it out, because they are going to be live streaming tomorrow again. So I uploaded a video the other day of some sniper clips from the first day of E3, and this is another sniper rifle video with the same gun, the Steyr Scout Elite bolt action sniper rifle. And there's a lot more people that were using this weapon in the second day, so I thought I'd show you guys some more clips. And there's a couple other things I didn't get to touch on in that first video that I wanted to talk about in regards to the Recon class. So far I've seen two sniper rifles in this live stream. This one, obviously the Steyr Scout Elite, and another one that's a semi-automatic sniper rifle. And I'll do a video on that weapon coming up pretty soon. But I already talked about most of the basics of those rifles, so I wanted to talk about some of the attachments and some of the other features that the Recon class has that I didn't get to in that first video. So the first one is this scope that you're seeing is the CL6X scope, 6x magnification, and it looks kind of like an ACOG sight when it's on top of the gun like that, but it's not a 4x, it actually has a higher magnification, which is kind of a nice middle ground. And in Battlefield 3, the sniper glint didn't start until you got to a 7x optical zoom. You know, if you had anything higher, you know, a 7, a 8, or, you know, a 12x optical attachment, then you would give your position away because you had sniper glint whenever you were using your sniper rifle. Now, I've seen some screenshots and some gameplay from the live stream that the sniper glint is back and it's still in the game, at least at this point in the alpha. Obviously, things are going to change if they get feedback and people want it removed. But I'm curious how a 6x scope will play into that, if a 6x scope is going to have a sniper glint, because from my understanding there was no 6x magnification scope, and that sniper glint really didn't start until you got up to the 7x scopes. Another scope you'll see quite a bit throughout this gameplay is the 14x variable zoom. And variable zoom meaning obviously you can actually change the magnification of your scope. I don't know what the different steps are in that magnification. I don't know if you can go higher than 14, maybe you can go up to 20, or if you can go lower down to 8 or something lower than that. But that's definitely going to be a really cool attachment that I'll probably use quite a bit with sniper rifles, because I love having to change the actual magnification of the scope. Now, another thing I mentioned in one of my other videos is that if you look at the bottom center of the screen, you can see next to the flashlight icon that he's got a range, and you can actually change that range, and essentially that's the zeroing of your scope. So what zeroing is essentially where you still shoot in the center of your screen, but if you know the distance from your gun to the target, you can compensate for bullet drop, so you don't actually have to aim above your target and you know, have the bullet drop onto them. You can just range your scope or zero it in. But there was also a segment with one of the interview, I think it was with Carl Magnus, the one of the developers or head developers on Battlefield 4, that said there's also going to be a rangefinder, but I haven't seen anything about that yet. So maybe there'll be a way to actually see the distance from you to your target, so you don't actually just have to estimate it. But I haven't seen that myself. You can also see a silencer attachment and a couple other things. There's also a bunch of weapon camos that you can see, not only primary weapon camos like we've had in Battlefield 3, but also camouflages for your secondary weapons, your sidearms, as well as vehicles. I've seen some M1 Abrams that have camouflages on them, so that's definitely interesting that they're adding a lot more customization to the actual look and feel of basically every weapon and a lot of the different vehicles that are available in the game. Now, the pistol you guys see in this gameplay is the M9. There's also another one that's on the Chinese side. I'll probably cover that in another video with some gameplay of that. Another big thing that they added back from Battlefield Bad Company 2 with the Recon class is the motion balls, and this is kind of their push to make the game a little bit more fast-paced. You did have the motion sensors that you could set down, the tugs, and also the MAV that you could set down on Battlefield 3 that would essentially do a similar thing, but you had to place them down and then move them manually, whereas with the motion balls, you kind of throw them, and they're the same idea that you had with Bad Company 2. And I like the motion balls a lot better because it just allows the player to be more mobile, and that's kind of the same idea that they brought to the table with the med bags and the ammo bags that you can throw onto players and allow them to regen health or regen ammo while they're still moving. They don't have to be in the stationary location, which I think is going to make the gameplay of Battlefield 4 a little bit more fast-paced than Battlefield 3. Now, Another thing I wanted to note is that not only can you use the motion balls, but the commander can also call in a UAV, and he can call it on a certain point. And there's also a counter UAV that the commander can call in. So if there's an unmanned aircraft that's scanning for enemy players in a certain area, or friendly players in a certain area that the enemy commander called in, you can actually use a counter to essentially EMP that that UAV so that your teammates aren't showing up on the enemy's radar, which is, I think, a really, really cool mechanic. Another piece of equipment they're bringing back to the Recon class with Battlefield 4 is the C4. And that's something we had in, once again, Battlefield Bad Company 2. So I feel like overall they're trying to improve the effectiveness of the Recon class and make it a more viable option. And so far, everything I've seen from the new weapons, the new attachments, the motion balls, the C4, and the improvements to things like having the ability to do zeroing on your weapon, having hopefully a rangefinder or something like that, just in general is going to make the Recon class a lot more appealing to me and to other people, and it's going to allow you to be a little more mobile. You don't have to sit in the back of the map with a 12x scope and do super long range sniping. It's going to be a more fast-paced, in-your-face type of gameplay, which is what I like to do. Not necessarily just quick scoping. I think some people will say that if you have, aggressive Recon, it has to be this quick scoping, no scoping type of Call of Duty thing. No, it doesn't. It just means aggressive Recon. It just means that you're pushing up with your team and you're not sitting back in the back of the map like, a real life sniper might do. So anyway, thanks for watching the video. Hopefully you guys learned a little bit more about Battlefield 4 and the Recon class with the Steyr Scout Elite Sniper Rifle. And if you enjoyed the video, feel free to leave a like or let me know in the comments down below what you think I should improve on, or what you thought about Battlefield 4 and the Recon class, because they're always looking for feedback, and you can tell that they've been listening. I mean, they've taken so many things that people have given them feedback about in Battlefield 3, and it almost feels like Battlefield 4 is what Battlefield 3 should have been, and Battlefield 3 was just this test where they tried out some new things, moved things around, and didn't really have the game perfectly polished. It seems like this game is trying to push for a more polished, more refined experience, which I think is going to be really, really awesome to experience. But thanks for watching the video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. And remember to subscribe, because I'll be doing a ton more Battlefield 4 coverage. I've already done so much, but there's a lot more to come. Anyway, thanks for watching the video, and I'll see you guys in the next one.
Watching the game, these are things that we are noticing as we observe. And we've been watching a lot of Battlefield 4 today. Hopefully you guys have been as well, because I've heard that we've had quite a few viewers throughout the course of these last 2 days, which makes it quite amazing, in my personal opinion, to see so many people coming out and supporting Battlefield 4 and EA.
Yeah, so one of the difficulties. This is very difficult. Whenever you have the 20x zoom, it is so hard to hit shots that are at such close range.
Yeah, hopefully he can nail this headshot here. He just needs to line it up.
If you look also, he has the ability to kind of focus his rangefinder.
Yeah, that is true. You can't focus the rangefinder.